I'm delighted to have Ryan Menzies, the Group Managing Director at Apollo, with me on the Business Spotlight this afternoon. Thank you for joining me, Ryan.
Thank you very much, Brenda. Pleased to be here.
So let's just start off by what is it that you do at Apollo and how long have you been doing it for?
So yeah, my name's Ryan Menzies. I go by Ryan Mingus, the traditional way. I always try and get that in there whenever I can. No problem at all. I'm on a mission to educate the world about the pronunciation of Mingus the proper way. So I'm Ryan Mingus. I'm the founder and managing director of Apollo. We've been in existence now for 13 years, and we're an engineering services business that's active across the energy spectrum, in oil and gas, offshore, but also in onshore activities in areas, emerging vectors like energy vectors like hydrogen and industrial decarbonisation, as well as offshore renewables as well. So relatively diverse business. And
the service that you provide to those industries?
So it's largely desktop engineering that we do simplistically. We work from very early stage, so we get involved in advisory services with our clients. We're quite active in emerging energy vectors like hydrogen in particular in that area notably, where we advise our clients at board level even in terms of their strategy and their future direction about what they can do, what alternate fuels they can look at, how they can decarbonize their business and be more sustainable and relevant for the future. But we also carry projects through into sort of consultancy stage, scoping out and looking at conceptual ideas for them, and then go and engineer that through the gears and through the years, as I like to coin it. So we're engineering services simplistically.
Okay, so you said you were a founder of Apollo.
That's right.
What led you to start in the business?
There was basically, I found I was one of the founders in the business. There was a number of people that joined fairly quickly after the company was established, of like-minded individuals that spotted an opportunity to do something different in the engineering space within the energy spectrum. At that point, we were largely involved in oil and gas, although a lot of my recent background over the last couple of decades has been in offshore wind. So we've been active in that renewable sphere as well, and we saw an opportunity just to provide a better value of engineering service to the marketplace, where things were perhaps maybe getting a little bit over-engineered, just to listen to the client's problems and just solve them. It's as simple as that. But having a like-minded sort of pool of people that were willing to join the business at an early stage just meant that there was an opportunity to do something different and to make a bit of an impression in the space.
Fantastic. So that like-minded pool of people that started out, how big's your team now?
We're around about 120 full-time engineers. We've enjoyed fairly sustainable growth to get to the stage that we are now. So we've really got I always sort of call Apollo a small business, but I suppose we're not really too small these days. We've got quite an impressive capability that's multidiscipline across really all of the different flavors of engineering that you get. So yeah, we've sustainably grown over the 12 years. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, as all businesses are. Where you're active in the oil and gas world, there's always a cyclical element to it, but in the renewables world and other vectors as well, that's not without their challenges. And then the challenges of the last 3 or 4 years as well, that every type of business has had to face, has been a roller coaster in itself. But we seem to face those challenges and embrace them and come out the other side stronger, which has been fantastic and helped to sustain us and get us to the point that we are today.
So you mentioned the last 3 years or so. Has that had a big impact on how how you run your business? Have you had to make changes because of the pandemic?
Nothing too drastic. I think like a lot of businesses in our space, we now have probably better embraced the opportunity to in terms of flexible working and such like. But we always had that element of that as well. In our favor was the fact that we're a people business, and a lot of the work that we do is sort of desktop engineering, so that can be done wherever. So we've thoroughly embraced that sort of opportunity. And through the COVID years, then we found that I introduced some efficiencies into our business where we could be operating much more flexibly. There was a little bit of disruption at points, but actually at times through the COVID years, we actually had some of our best performance was at that time, just where we found new ways to embrace technology and to just be a little bit more efficient, a bit more lean and mean.
So it sounds like there's a constant review of what you're doing and improvements. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's essential for us. I think when we set out, it's a very busy space, our space, that you don't need to look very far to see competitors. We compete with a very wide range of businesses now, from the likes of KPMG and Deloitte in that advisory space, through to companies like Worley and Wood, the big, huge engineering contractors. We even compete with them in a small way, but we certainly give them a run for their money in certain opportunities. It was very much in and around value engineering, an opportunity to offer our clients something's a bit more efficient, and just really to where clients aren't asking for a Rolls Royce to be designed, where it's maybe just a Mini they're looking for, then to offer them that rather than to go too overboard. So that was in the early days, and I think clients are always looking for value. So value engineering has always been relevant through what we're doing. But these days, I think that as we've grown, then there's bigger opportunity that we've recognized. So we've going through a strategy just now where we're looking to get more involved in that advisory space, to swim upstream as I deem that, where we can offer value to our clients at that stage. And from our point of view, the advantage is not just the opportunities at an earlier stage in a project, but we can make a good impression, and we can leverage that opportunity and follow that opportunity through the various stage gates with our clients. So we're always looking at how we can expand the range of services that we're doing and how we can operate a little bit more efficiently or effectively, and that's certainly through the COVID times, it certainly made us lift the bonnet under the business and look at things and think about what's our opportunity here, what more can we be doing better than our competitors.
Fantastic. And so you're still here all these years on, so that you must be doing it well. What would you say, right, over the years that you've been in business, what's been your biggest learning as a business owner?
I mean, there's a lot. That's a hard question to answer, really, in many ways. There's so many different obstacles you come across, but you've really just got to be, as a business owner, you've got to be keep persevering, just to keep going at it. There's going to be good days and there's going to be bad days, and you just have to embrace them, come what may. And I think roll up your sleeves and just do something. The worst thing you can possibly do is bury your head and just hope that it's just going to go away, because it just doesn't. And I've certainly learned that when you see a little ember simmering away, that'll probably go away, it won't be a big issue, and it just gets bigger and bigger. So just address things when you see them, and address things head on, roll your sleeves up, as I say, and just get on with it. I think that perseverance and just keep going on, because tomorrow's another day and all that. I'm a firm believer in that, and good things will happen.
Brilliant. A great message to anyone coming a bit further behind you. I really like that. Did you always want to be a business owner, or did you always want to be an engineer?
I love engineering, so I love being in my position now and seeing some of the great work that we do. I think that while my background is engineering, I did a master's in engineering, then went on to do a PhD. So I had some skills, I guess, in and around that. But what I realised was that I'm quite nosy, and I like being involved in lots of things, and sometimes in the engineering space you just have to concentrate on the one task and just get that done. For me, I loved working with, you know, the power of people and pulling people together, and good things happen. That's a big element of our business, is the value that we've got, the values that we have, which are, they stand for SAFE, the acronym SAFE, but the A in SAFE is attitude. Having a good people with a good attitude, then good things happen. And so I think because of that, I kind of got more into sort of in previous roles before type roles and such like, and really enjoyed that. Loved the stresses and strains that comes with it, of having to try to turn a, you know, create a positive company performance and create opportunities for people, which is what happens when you have a growing business, and what Apollo's had great success in doing. So I think my engineering days are behind me. There's far better people in the company that are far more skilled than me, that can do some great things in that respect, and I like them doing what they do.
Fantastic. So the managing of the business is more your thing now. I wanted you mentioned your values there, the SAFE acronym. How well, tell us about those actually, and how important that is in the business.
Absolutely vital. I believe that there's, you know, when we go and see clients, quite often you get asked, you know, what makes you different to company X or whatever, and sometimes that can be a hard question to answer, because fundamentally you're offering the same sort of service as what someone else is. But it's really the fact that what our values instill. The S in SAFE stands for SAFE itself, and it's not just about holding the handrail and acting in a safe and responsible manner. SAFE to us means ensuring we've got safe business practices. There's safe metrics in there to ensure that we don't leverage ourselves too much financially, so we're sustainable, we're safe. The A, as I said, is for attitude, and a lot of that's about the people, having good people with a good attitude that care about their careers, but also care about the careers of the people around about them. They're not just looking to pull themselves up, they're looking to try and pull other people up around about them. If you have good people with a good attitude, you create the F in SAFE is for future. You do a good job, you care about what you're doing, you do a good job, and that creates more work, creates a growing business, which creates opportunities, and that creates that future. And wrapped all around that is the most important thing for me. You have a healthy, vibrant culture, a nice climate within your business. It's a place that people want to work, and a big part of that is it has to be enjoyable. You spend a lot of time in your work, sometimes more than you'd maybe like, and but actually, if you can create somewhere where people enjoy working as well, then the E stands for enjoyment. That's a good place to be, and you know, people are naturally going to go that extra mile to make sure that we deliver first-class work for our clients, and that in turn creates the opportunities for the people within the business. So yeah, the culture is a huge piece of what Apollo is. It attracts the best people to the business so that we do the best work for our clients, but it also attracts some fantastic projects into the business as well, which is obviously critical to our success and past and to our future success as well.
I love it. The culture is so important also within my business and Action Coach as an organization. So I love talking to people that have got a similar attitude to that. I don't have much time for many more questions, but I'd just ask you about you said that those culture points are attracting good people into your business. What are the challenges attracting good people in? Because you know, a lot of people are talking about the lack of talent around nowadays. Tell me about the finding the right people.
Yeah, the quantity of people that are coming into sort of engineering or sort of businesses is certainly a big problem. There's just not enough people out there, I think, for the current demands, let alone the future demands. So for Apollo, we've been quite successful in that space. I have to say, we've done really well to attract some great people, and we continue to do so in what is a really tight market. I think that with good engineers, obviously they want to get paid well, but actually for good engineers with a good attitude, then there's a lot more than just the paycheck at the end of the month. They're looking for that opportunity, the opportunity to be able to transition their skills. They might come from an oil and gas background, for example, but look to transition into other energy vectors. That's something that Apollo can offer, because the working in other areas, be it offshore renewables or onshore decarbonisation or hydrogen or such like, a lot of skills are really, really transferable. Process engineering, for example. So it's still a big concern, the sort of the talent attraction. But for Apollo, we keep working on the culture. That's my key job, as I see it, is really to try and preserve that culture as we keep growing. Because my targets to 13.3 is our 3-year business plan to get to 30 million within 3 years, which is roughly doubling our business from where we are. So obviously we're going to need a lot more good people into the business, but with the positive culture that we've got, then I think we can attract that. Also, we need to do our bit to attract more people into engineering, and I spend a good amount of my time going into particularly targeting primary schools to attract young people into engineering and really promoting STEM and the excitement that engineering can be as a career for these young people, and opening their eyes to that.
Fantastic. Having come from science myself, I think that's really important, and a mother of teenagers. So
Yes.
yeah, really, really pleased to hear it. So what are what does the future look like for Apollo?
I think the future is rosy. I think there's not going to be without its challenges. The background is complex just now. You don't need to look too far to unearth bad news stories or concerns about the economy and, as you say, skill shortages and such like. But we all need energy, and that energy mix is transitioning, but there'll always be a mix there, and that mix will change with time. So I think that a company like Apollo is highly relevant, because we're doing that advisory piece where we're trying to work out what that future energy mix will look like, but we're also actually engineering it and working out answers to really complex problems now. So as I say, we're around about 50 million in scale now, 120 people. We can flex up with depending on projects that are ongoing, but our business target for the next 3 years is 13.3. We believe that we can double over the next 3 years in the continued sort of organic way that we've been doing so, staying true to our values, and the key part within all of that is not, for me, it's not where can we find the people or where can we find the work to sustain that. It's make sure and how do we maintain our culture as part of all that. It keeps coming back to that every time for me. But I see growth. We need to keep growing. We need to keep creating opportunities for the great people in the business. That's what I've promised them all, and that's what I'll deliver on. Fantastic.
Well, yeah, good luck with it, and I'll be following with admiration, I think, to the success that you're going to have. If anybody wants to find out more about Apollo or reach out to you, where do they find you?
Absolutely. I always love speaking to people, whatever they might be looking for. As I say, I've had a few contacts from schools recently where they were looking for Apollo to come in and support the promotion of STEM, for example. But they can find me on LinkedIn. If they go to our website, apollo.engineer, then in the contact us, you can reach me there. And I think my profile's in the about section of Apollo as well. So I should be easy to track down. Fantastic.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ryan Menzies, for being with me on the Business Spotlight. I've really enjoyed talking to you, Ryan. Thank you so much for taking the time.
My pleasure, Brenda. It was lovely to speak to you.